Hello students, welcome to Narayan P College online classes. In the previous episode we completed some of the problems on Arrhenius equation. So we will discuss some more problems on Arrhenius equation. Let us see the question on the board here. If a catalyst drops activation energy of a reaction at 25 degrees Celsius, okay, the drops in the activation energy is 80 kilojoules to 40 kilojoules. What is the magnitude of the effect on the forward reaction and the rate constant? Forward reaction rate and reverse reaction. Reverse in the sense forward reaction and backward reaction. So here you can see they give only one temperature, okay, but difference in the activation energy is given how much here, 80 kilojoules to the 40 kilojoules. Okay, so generally you know one formula. What is the formula? Log K2 by K1 is equal to EA by this is 2.303 R into T2 minus T1 by T1 T2. This is the reaction. Suppose you are taking at two different temperatures, but here temperatures they are given only one temperature. Only one temperature is how much given? 25 degrees Celsius. Now you will write this one K2 by log K2 by K1 is equal to EA by this 2.303 into R into T. R into T. So we want to use this equation. Clear ma? Log K2 by K1 is equal to EA by 2.303 R into T. So we can find out K2 by K1. They are asking here effect of rate. Effect of rate is now here we can find out the rate constant. From this we can say the rate of the reaction. Okay, what here? Rate increases if the rate constant is increases. You know that relation. So from this, what is the activation energy difference here? So this is 80 kilojoules. Drops to how much here? 40 kilojoules. So activation energy is equal to, I will write here, this is 40 kilojoules. Clear? So R value, you know, R is equal to, you know, this is 8.314. T is equal to 25 degrees Celsius given. So 25 plus how much you have? 273. So total you will get how much? 298 Kelvin. So let us substitute the values of this formula. Log K2 by K1. Log K2 by K1 is equal to activation energy 40 kilojoules. So we will write here 40 into this is 10 cube by this is 2.303 into 8.314 into, so temperature how much we have? The temperature is what? 298 Kelvin. 298 Kelvin. We see the calculation part here. And now we'll see here, if you, this is 40,000 by 2.303 into 8.314 into 298. So you are getting 570.85.84. If you do this one, you will get 7.010. So this is log K2 by K1 is equal to 7.010. K2 by K1 is equal to how much? 10 power 7. So this is the value got. Now what is the question here? What is the effect of magnitude on the forward reaction rate and what reverse reaction rate? The asking. And one more here, the catalyst catalyze the activation energy of a reaction at 25 degrees Celsius. There is a difference in the activation energy 80 kilojoules to the 40 kilojoules. What is the magnitude of effect of the reaction on the forward and the backward reaction? You know catalyst. Catalyst is a substance which alters the rate of reaction without undergoing any chemical change. Okay, just if the reaction is slow, it will increase the rate of reaction. How it will increase the rate of reaction means by decreasing the activation energy. How activation energy decrease here? You see here 80 kilojoules is there, it is decreased to how much here? 40 kilojoules. So it catalyst will decrease the activation energy and increases the rate of reaction. Okay, here the rate of reaction is increased by how many times here? Okay, here K2 by K1 is how much you got? You got 10 power 7. So I will write here rate of reaction increases by how many times here? 10 power 7 times. I already told you rate increases, rate constant increases, rate is also what? Increases. Okay, now one more question asking here, what is the effect on the forward and reverse rate? Forward reaction, backward reaction. You already know this catalyst does not affect the equilibrium position. It will increase the rate of reaction. I already told you but it does not affect the equilibrium of the reaction. Okay, I will write one point here. Catalyst increase rate of reaction by decreasing activation energy. By decreasing what? Activation energy. Okay, or you can see this point like keep in the brackets here. Catalyst increase the rate of reaction. It does not disturb the equilibrium position. Catalyst does not disturb. Catalyst does not disturb what? Equilibrium position. Okay, catalyst does not disturb the equilibrium position. At equilibrium position, rate of forward reaction is equal to what? Rate of backward reaction. So rate increase by 7 power 10 times, 10 power 7 times, and the rate of forward reaction is equal to rate of backward reaction. Clear? So this is the answer for this question. See the next question we have. What is the value of rate constant predicted by the Arrhenius equation if t reaches to infinity? Is the value physically reasonable? What is the value of rate constant? They are asking rate constant for the reaction from the Arrhenius equation. In that Arrhenius equation, temperatures reaches to what here? Infinity. Is the value physically reasonable? They are asking. You know what already what is the Arrhenius equation? K is equal to, this is A into, this is e power minus EA by RT. This equation you know. So here I will write here K is equal to A into e power minus EA by R into, this is T already reaches to what? Infinity. So since T reaches to what here? Infinity. Okay, so you know what is the 1 by infinity value? 1 by infinity value is what here? 0. So K is equal to A into, this is e power 0 you will got. What you will got? E power 0. So from this what I want to write here? K is equal to A, since e power 0 is equal to what here? 1. So what here? Rate constant. Rate constant is equal to A we got. What is A here? A is Arrhenius factor or not? Or you can say collision frequency, or you can say this is Arrhenius factor. Arrhenius factor, or you will say Arrhenius frequency factor. So generally the Arrhenius factor is not equals to rate constant, because if you want to carry out the reaction, some frequency can be changed in the reaction. That is compulsory. What is, if the reaction to be carried out, what is required? Activation energy required. So here activation energy does not become what? 0. So the reaction is what here? The value is not, physically the value is not reasonable. Okay. The reaction is what? Not feasible. Okay, so the reaction is not feasible. So like this also we will do this question. Okay, alternatively you can say, you know K is equal to A into e power minus EA by RT. This value got what here? EA by RT is equal to 0. EA by RT is equal to 0. Then what you will get here? Because 1 by infinity is 0 you got. EA is equal to 0. Activation energy is 0, then we got the answer. But activation energy does not always 0. The activation energy is 0, the reaction is not feasible, because when the reactant molecules are converted into products, what is required here? It will form an activated complex. Activated complex is formed means it requires that activation energy. Without activation energy, the reaction is what? Not feasible. So what again? Activation energy cannot be 0. So physically this is a reaction is what? Not reasonable. So this is, we have question number 2. Okay, let us see the next question. We have question number 3. Now we'll see question number 3. The pre-exponential factor for a free radical addition reaction is 2 into 10 power 13 second inverse. Find the rate constant at STP. Find the rate constant at STP. You know this formula. What is the formula? K is equal to A into e power minus EA by RT. The free exponential factor. Free exponential factor means here A is given. What is A is given? A is equal to, they given 2 into 10 power 13 second inverse. So this is what reaction? This is a free radical addition reaction. For free radical addition, that's very important point. For free radical addition reactions, the activation energy is what? 0. Clear? For free radical addition reactions, activation energy E is equal to 0. Now what you will get here? K is equal to A into, you know this formula, minus EA by RT. Then 0 is what you will get? E power 0. So K is equal to A into what? E power 0. From this what you will get? K is equal to what? A. Clear? Here, why? Because the activation energy already 0. So K is equal to A you got. What is the value of A here? A is equal to 10 power 3 second inverse. So K is also how much? 2 into 10 power 30 second inverse. When it is possible? If the activation energy is 0. Activation energy 0 means the reaction is not feasible. See this question. N2 plus 3H2 gives rise to 2NH3 plus 22 kilocalories. EA for the reaction is 70 kilocalories. Calculate the activation energy for the reaction. 2NH3 gives rise to N2 plus 3H2. So this is the reaction is given. What is the reaction, ma? N2 plus 3H2 gives rise to 2NH3 plus 22 kilocalories. I will write here delta H is equal to minus 22 kilocalories because it is exothermic reaction. Now what are the equation is given, ma? And one more is given activation energy. They given 70 kilocalories. They asking calculate the activation energy for this reverse reaction. 2NH3 gives rise to N2 plus 3H2. They asking what here? Calculate the activation energy for this reaction. They asking. Okay, so this is a, suppose you are taking this is a forward reaction, then we can take it as a backward reaction. So generally one formula we have, delta H is equal to activation energy for forward reaction minus activation energy for the backward reaction. Activation energy for the forward reaction minus what? Activation energy for the backward reaction. So this is the formula we have. Now here what are the delta H we have? Delta H is, this is minus 22 kilocalories. Suppose you can take this is a forward reaction. How much we have this activation energy? This is 70. Okay, and minus activation energy for what here? Backward reaction. Now here activation energy for the backward reaction is equal to what you will get, ma, here? 70 plus what here? 22. What is the answer, ma? 92 kilocalorie per mole. 92 kilocalorie per mole. So this formula is important. Delta H is equal to and activation energy for the forward reaction minus activation energy for the backward reaction. This is the forward reaction. If you take reverse, what you will get? The backward reaction. Then what is the answer you got? 92 kilocalories. Okay, what the answer you got? Now we'll see this. Say next question, question number 5. In an exothermic reaction, X gives rise to Y. The activation energy is 100 kilojoule per mole and enthalpy of the reaction is minus 140 kilojoules. So the reaction is given what here? The reaction is given what, ma? X to Y. It is an exothermic reaction. It is an exothermic reaction. Activation energy is already given. This is 100 kilojoule per mole. And the enthalpy of the reaction given delta H is equal to, this is minus 40 kilojoule per mole. Enthalpy given. Now they are asking what here? The activation energy for the reverse reaction Y to X they are asking. So same formula or the formula. This is what they are asking, ma? Activation energy for the Y to X they are asking. They are asking for activation energy for this compound. What is the formula we have? Delta H is equal to activation energy for the forward reaction and activation energy for the backward reaction. Delta H how much it is? This is minus 140 kilojoule per mole. Forward reaction how much given, ma? This is 100 joules. 100, this is kilojoule per mole minus activation energy for the backward reaction. Backward reaction. Now what you will take here? Activation energy for the backward reaction is equal to, this is 100 plus what, ma? 140. What you got? This is 240 kilojoule per mole. So what is the answer for this question? Activation energy for the backward reaction is what, ma? 240 kilojoule per mole. So the next concept we have effect of catalyst on the rate of reaction. Initially we discussed that is temperature dependence of the rate of reaction, and the next concept we have catalyst on the effect of catalyst on the rate of reaction. So if you want to carry out a chemical reactions, if you want to increase the rate of reaction, we need some catalyst. Clear? If you want to see this general example I am taking, you know the Haber process, N2 plus 3H2 gives rise to 2NH3. Here we are using the catalyst here iron, along with we are using a molybdenum as a promoter. Means if you want to prepare ammonia by the Haber process, what is the catalyst is required here? Iron is the catalyst is required. Why we are adding this catalyst means because it increases the rate of the reaction. The reaction will be completed in a less time. Suppose if you are doing the reaction without catalyst, the formation of ammonia does not take place easily. Okay, and let us see the one more example. We have potassium chlorate. Potassium chloride, suppose you are heating, then you will get here KCl plus O2. If you balance this one, 2 KClO3 gives rise to 2 KCl plus what? 3 O2. So if you want to do this decomposition of the potassium chlorate, okay, it will take a very long time. Okay, instead of this heating, along with heating, if you want to use here MnO2 as a catalyst, the reaction is completed easily. Means what here? In presence of catalyst, the rate of reaction is what? Increases. In presence of catalyst, the rate of reaction is what? Increases. So what is the role of catalyst during a chemical reaction? So catalyst is the substance which increases the rate of reaction without undergoing any chemical change. Catalyst is a substance which increases rate of reaction without undergoing any chemical change. That we are calling as what? Catalyst. Clear na? So I will write here. Catalyst is the substance. Catalyst is the substance which increases rate of reaction, without undergoing any chemical change. Catalyst is the substance which increases the rate of reaction without undergoing any chemical change. So this is a role of the catalyst in a chemical reaction. Clear? So generally how this catalyst will increase the rate of reaction means the catalyst will decrease the activation energy. You know, activation energy decreases, rate of reaction becomes faster. You know the concept of activation energy. If the activation energy is low, rate of reaction is more. If the activation energy is more, rate of reaction will be less. So here what I want to tell here, catalyst increases, catalyst decrease the activation energy. Catalyst decrease the activation energy and increase the rate of reaction Okay, so here maybe get doubt. All catalysts maybe increase the rate of reaction means here we can differ two catalysts here. One is a positive catalyst, one is a negative catalyst. So positive catalyst always decreases the activation energy and increases the rate of reaction. And one more is also there, we have negative catalyst also there. Negative catalyst, what they will do means negative catalyst decreases the rate of reaction and increases the activation energy for the reaction. Okay, just I want to write one example here, decomposition of potassium chlorate. Example I am taking here, decomposition of potassium chlorate, you can carry it out in presence of MnO2. So what you will get? You will get 2 2 kcl plus what ma 3 volt, 2 kcl plus 3 volt. Here MnO2 can act as what catalyst. It will increase the rate of reaction by decreasing what activation energy. Here MnO2 can act as a positive catalyst. So there are catalysts are two types are there. Catalysts are two types. Okay, what is there? One is a positive catalyst and one more we have negative catalyst. Positive catalyst and what ma negative catalyst. So if you want to talking about this positive catalyst, clear what I want to say here, positive catalyst increases rate of reaction, okay, by decreasing. Positive catalyst increase the rate of reaction by decreasing activation energy. By decreasing activation energy. What about this negative catalyst? Negative catalyst decrease the rate of reaction. Negative catalyst decrease the rate of reaction. Decrease the rate of reaction then by increasing activation energy. By increasing what ma activation energy. By increasing activation energy. So suppose you can take an example for this positive catalysis. You can take this example. So you can take this 2 kClO3. You can use the catalyst MnO2. What you will get? You will get 2 kCl plus 3O2. What is the role of MnO2? Means MnO2 can act as what? MnO2 can act as a positive catalyst. So what are the example for this negative catalyst? We will see decomposition of H2O2 in presence of okay dilute HCl or acetylene. H2O2 suppose you are taking. So H2O2 can be decomposed into H2O plus nascent oxygen. This reaction can be carried out in presence of what ma dilute HCl. Dilute HCl or you can use acetanilide. Okay, so in this case what happened means here this dilute HCl can act as a negative catalyst. It will decrease the rate of reaction. So this is regarding about catalyst. Then we will see how this catalyst affect the activation energy diagrammatically. We will see, and one more you can see the some of the characteristics of this catalyst. So these are some of the characteristics of the catalyst. Catalyst does not alter the Gibbs energy of the reaction. Delta Z, there is no change in the delta Z when the reaction takes place in presence of catalyst. And one more, it catalyzes spontaneous reactions. You know, spontaneous reactions, if delta Z is negative, that is a spontaneous reaction. If delta Z is positive, that is a non-spontaneous reaction. So catalyst will catalyze only spontaneous reaction. It does not catalyze non-spontaneous reactions. And one more here, catalyst does not change the equilibrium constant for the reaction. If the reaction is carried out in presence of catalyst, suppose you want to identify the equilibrium constant value K, there is no change in the value of equilibrium constant. And one more here, catalyst does not disturb the equilibrium position. Equilibrium position means what here? The rate of forward reaction is equal to rate of forward reaction, backward reaction. Rate of forward reaction is equal to rate of backward reaction. That position we are calling as the equilibrium position. So equilibrium position does not affected by the catalyst. So what they will do here, it helps to attain equilibrium faster. If the equilibrium position forming is very slow, it will increases the equilibrium position what faster. So these are what here, these are some of the characteristics of the catalyst. Now we will see one of the diagram on effect of catalyst on activation energy. Effect of catalyst and what ma activation energy. Effect of catalyst on activation energy. So this diagram is very important. Majority of the time they are asking for the board exam, draw the potential energy diagram for okay effect of catalyst and what ma activation energy. So here we want to take that graph potential energy versus reaction coordinate. So this is a reaction coordinate. So this is a potential energy. So as simple I am writing here, P means what here? Potential energy. You can write full form. What is the full form? This one, potential energy. Clear? If you want to drag graph, generally in the reaction, generally chemical reaction, what happen? Reactant molecules are converted into products. So we want to take the reactant molecules here. Reactant molecules are converted into products. So imagine it is a reactant and this is a product. Clear? Now I want to draw lines for the reaction. This activation energy, this gap water calling my activation energy. Now this is the reaction. So this is the complex is formed here. This is what is the complex name? It is an activated complex. So this is the reaction path. This is the reaction path without catalyst. I will write here. This is what this is a react. This side suppose I will write here. I will draw with catalyst. So this is the reaction path without catalyst. Now what I want to do means I want to add a catalyst. Clear? Suppose I want to add a catalyst. After adding the catalyst, I want to observe the reaction path of the compound. So this is what means here. This is the reaction path with catalyst. What it is, ma? This is a reaction path with catalyst. So this is the path reaction without catalyst. This is reaction path with catalyst. Okay. Now I want to extend this one like this. Or I will draw one line here. Clear? So here I want to draw one more line here. Okay. Now we'll see that from here to here I want to take. Okay, this is what is this curve? This curve represent what here? This is the activation energy without catalyst. This is what activation energy without catalyst. From here to here, this is the activation energy without catalyst. From you can see here, if you want to extend like this, now you see this path here. So this is what here? This is activation energy with the catalyst. So first path you can see from here to here, this is the activation energy without catalyst. So from here to here, what you can say, this is the activation energy with catalyst. Now which one having activation energy more? Activation energy more in the absence of the catalyst, or will say without catalyst. Activation energy will be decreases in presence of what? Catalyst. So this is the diagram represent what here? Effect of catalyst on the activation energy. You know for what is the point I told? If the activation energy is low, rate of reaction is more. So here the catalyst will decrease the activation energy and increase the rate of reaction. Maybe we can say this is, we can say for positive catalyst, we will say what is the positive catalyst? Positive catalyst always decreases the activation energy and increases the rate of reaction. So this is the effect of catalyst on what? Activation energy. So very important for the 2 mark they asked in the exam. What you will do? Potential energy versus the reaction coordinate. Reactants are converted into products. Reaction path without catalyst, reaction path with catalyst, activation energy without catalyst, and activation energy with catalyst. If you want to take a negative catalyst, we will draw the reaction diagram, profile diagram for potential energy versus reaction coordinate. So this is the reaction path is there. So this is the reaction path without catalyst. Okay, this what is this means here? This I will write here. This is reaction path with catalyst. Okay, so suppose you can take this as a activation energy complex. We can take here two lines I'll write here. This is one of the component, here another component I'll write. This part will take an activation energy. Okay, so this I will take here two lines here. This is one and this is one more we have. So this line tells about what here? This is the reaction path without catalyst. So this is activation energy. This is what my activation energy A. So this is without catalyst. Without catalyst. So this is. So what is this man? This is what I'll see. Otherwise I'll write here this one. So this is what I will write here. This is activation energy with the catalyst. So here what you can see here, activation energy without catalyst and activation energy with catalyst is there. Which one having highest activation energy? Activation energy with catalyst. Okay, in this case what happened? I already told you the negative catalyst increases the activation energy and decreases the rate of reaction. Here negative catalyst is there, so more the activation energy, so it decreases the rate of reaction. So this is the diagram for which one? My negative catalyst. If you want to draw the this one for the positive catalyst, so this I will write, can draw again. So this is for the positive catalyst, I will say. This is for which one? My positive catalyst. Clear? From positively, what do you know? Positive catalyst always increase the rate of reaction by decreasing what? Activation energy. Here activation energy can be decreased presence of which one? Catalyst. In absence of catalyst, activation energy is more. In presence of catalyst, activation energy is what? Less. So activation energy will be decreases, thereby what? Rate of reaction is what? Increases. So this is regarding about the catalyst. I will tell one more point from this one. Catalyst always increases the rate of reaction without undergoing any chemical change. Catalyst always decreases activation energy. If what catalyst it is a positive catalyst. If the positive catalyst increase the rate of reaction by decreasing activation energy, negative catalyst increase the activation energy by decreasing the rate of reaction. But in the exam they did not ask negative or positive, they asked what is the effect of catalyst on the rate of reaction. You write one point. Catalyst is the substance which increase the rate of reaction by decreasing what? Activation energy. Very important diagram, that is what I told. Effect of catalyst on the activation energy diagram, you can practice it. They are asking for the board exam for 2 marks. So the next concept we have collision theory. So whenever the reactant molecule can participate in the chemical reaction, so before that the reactant molecules undergo some collisions. Means what here? The reactant molecules are collide with each other. The reactant molecules are collide with each other. Then there is a chance to form a product. Okay. So if you want to take, generally where you are observing here collisions means, if you want to take a gaseous molecule, suppose you are taking. Suppose you are taking a gaseous molecule. Here one container we have gaseous molecules are there. Okay, so now here gaseous molecules having different directions with different velocities they will move. So during this directions what they had here, the gas molecules collide with each other and they will collide with the walls of the container also. Walls of the container. So this is generally takes place when the gaseous molecules, suppose you are taking. So what is the basic requirement for reaction to occur? Means here the basic requirement for the reaction to occur is reacting species must collide with each other. The reactant species must collide with each other. So this is the basic requirement for which theory? Collision theory. What is the basic requirement for the collision theory? The reactant molecules must collide with one another. Okay, I will write this point. Basic requirement for a reaction to occur. Basic requirement for what? A reaction to occur is that reacting species must collide. The reacting species must collide with another. So if the reactant molecules are collide with each other, okay, then we can explain the collision theory. So this is for what is this? This is the basis for collision theory. This is the basis for collision theory. This is the base for which one? My collision theory. So according to this theory, the reactant molecules are assumed to be hot spheres. Okay, suppose here AB molecule is there, suppose A plus B, some gives rise to products. Here A and B assumed to be what here? A and B assumed to be what here? Hot spheres. So here the reactant molecules are assumed to be hot spheres, and the reaction occur when the molecules will collide with each other. The molecules will collide with what? Each other. So I will write here the reactant molecules in this theory. Reactant molecules assumed to be hard spheres. Reactant molecules are assumed to be what? Hard sphere. The chemical reaction is occur when the molecules are collide with each other. The reaction is occur when molecules are collide with each other. Here A is there, B is there, A and B molecules collide with each other. Clear? So whenever this A molecule and B molecule ways collide with each other, suppose they undergo collide each other. So generally we have to observe here two types of the collisions we are observing. So what are those? Means here effective collisions. Effective collisions and ineffective collisions. There are two types of the collisions will be takes place when the reactant molecules are collide with each other. So what are those effective collisions? Means here the reactant molecules suppose collide with each other, they will form a product. If the reactant molecules are what? The reactant molecules are there, they collide with each other like this. If the product is formed, those collisions we are calling as what? Effective collisions. If the reactant molecules are collide with each other but the product is not formed, that we are calling as what? Ineffective collisions. Means if the reactant molecules undergo a large number of the collisions which are effective, those only can form the products. If the collisions are not effective, those collision does not form any product, but they collide with each other. So generally I told here, this is one of the reactant molecule, this is one of the reactant molecule, both are collide with each other, the product is formed. Okay, so another reactant molecule is there. If suppose I am like this, here the collide will be takes place like this. This collides what we are calling here, this is called as a ineffective collides, or we can say ineffective collisions. Those collisions does not form any product. Okay, so what collisions will form? The molecules suppose are collide with each other, they undergo what type of collisions? Effective collisions. Then only what is formed? They will form a product. They will form what here? Product. All collisions form product? No. The collisions which are said to be effective, those only can form the product. Okay. So ineffective collisions are there. Then what here? Does not form product. Does not form what? Product. Clear ma? So the reactant molecules are collide with each other. There is a collisions will be takes place. If the collisions are effective collisions, they form the product. If the collisions are not effective, that we are calling ineffective collisions, or we will say elastic collisions, those collisions does not form any product. Okay, means all the reactant molecules does not converted into product. Only fraction of the molecules undergo collisions. Those fraction of the molecules can form a product by undergo what type of collisions? By undergo effective collisions. effective collisions. Now we'll see one point here. Okay, whenever the A and B molecules are collide with each other, so we have to identify how many collisions will be takes place per second per unit volume of the reaction mixture. Okay, here A and B molecules collide with each other. The number of collisions taking place per second per unit volume of the reaction mixture is called as what? Collision frequency. What are calling collision frequency? What is collision frequency? The number of reactant molecules. Okay, how many number of molecule? The number of molecules that collide with each other in 1 second per unit volume of the reaction mixture is called as what? Collision frequency. That is denoted by Z. Okay, so I will write here collision frequency. Okay, what is collision frequency? The number of collisions. The number of collisions. The number of collisions taking place per second per unit volume of reaction mixture, unit volume of reaction mixture is called what? Collision frequency. Is called here collision frequency. It is denoted by Z. It is denoted by Z. What is the collision frequency? I told number of collision taking place per second per unit volume of the reaction mixture is called as collision frequency. It is denoted by Z. Okay, if we take an AB molecule, this AB molecule undergo collisions. That collisions we are identifying per what? Second per unit volume of the reaction mixture. That we are calling as what? Collision frequency. So generally, what are the conditions to the reactant molecules can undergo effective collisions? Means that there are two important regions are there. One is threshold energy, one is proper orientation. If these two factors are there, they will undergo effective collisions. What are those? Threshold energy and one more proper orientation. Or we will say one more like this also, energy barrier and orientation barrier. So these are the two important conditions if the molecule should form what here? Effective collisions. See, this what are the factors I told. For effective collisions, molecules should have sufficient energy as well as the proper orientation. If these two factors are there, then only the reactant molecules undergo effective collisions. What are that one? Sufficient energy. Sufficient in the sense that is the minimum energy is there. That energy we are calling as what? Threshold energy. And one more what here? The reactant molecules undergo proper orientation. I will show the diagrammatically how the molecules undergo proper orientation. So in the board exam and all, they will ask what are the conditions if the molecule should undergo effective collisions. Means it contains threshold energy and it undergo what? Proper orientation. Okay, that I will write it like this: threshold energy comma proper orientation. What that? The molecules undergo effective collisions. And one more we hear energy barrier, or you can say orientation barrier. So threshold energy, suppose you can take that, we can also tell like this energy barrier and what? Orientation barrier. Now we see the diagram. This is the fraction of molecule versus energy. So this is for collisions, how the reactant molecules undergo collisions. You know, here I already told you all the molecules does not undergo effective collisions. Only the fraction of molecules can undergo what? Effective collisions. So we are taking the fraction of molecules with energy, and you can see this spot here. Only the fraction of molecules effective undergo what? They will form some effective collisions. Means those fraction of the molecules will be converted into the product zone. So this energy we are calling it, this is a threshold energy. You know, threshold energy is what? The minimum amount of energy possessed by the reactant molecules as to make the chemical reaction to occur is called as threshold energy. So if you want to see this, I already discussed this activated complex concept here. So this is, you know, this is activated complex. So this is reactants, these are what? Products only. If we take the here potential energy versus reaction coordinate, this energy we are calling as what? Activation energy. If the activated complex is formed, this, you know, this is what here? This we are calling as a activated complex. So this we are calling as a energy barrier. what we're calling energy barrier. If the reactant molecules suppose cross this energy barrier, then what happened here? The reactant molecules are converted into what here? Product zone. That I told here, energy barrier. Energy barrier. If suppose you are participating in a long jump competition, then what you will see? Just we have to cross over one barrier. One height barrier is there. If you not cross over that barrier, so you have maybe 2 or 3 chances are there. If you lost your chances, you are not cross over the energy barrier. If you not cross over the energy barrier, then what happened? You did not get the medal. In the same manner, if the reactant molecules are converted into products, then what will happen here? That will cross the energy barrier. If it does not cross the energy barrier, then the reactant molecules again converted to reactant. If it is crossed the energy barrier, then what happened? The reactant molecules are converted into what? Products. So this is regarding about which one? Energy barrier. And one more concept is there. What is this one? Orientation barrier, or we will say here proper orientation only. If the reactant molecules are undergo proper orientation, means here if the reactant molecules are collide with each other, if they undergo proper orientations, product is formed. If they does not undergo proper rotation, then what happened here? The product is not formed. We will discuss that one. So the second concept we have what that one? So that is a proper orientation. Proper orientation. So how will explain this proper orientation? Means just I want to take here some small example. Suppose I will show this proper orientation. Proper orientation is there. So we want to take here a different example for this one. I want to take an example here. A and B molecules are given. So this is a molecule of A, and here B molecule is there. We will see the A is more in size right here. So this is A in more size, and this is B we have. Okay, so these are the AB molecule is there. And here also I want to take here one more molecule of this AB. Here A is there and here B is there. Now we will see here A molecules and B molecules are collide with each other. Means what here? They are close to each other. When they are close to each other, then first what they will form? They will form an intermediate. So this is intermediate. Here A is there, here A is there, and here B we have, and here B is there. Okay, so these molecules again separate into here. A and A combine AA, and B combine what here? BB. They undergo what here? They undergo proper orientation. They undergo what? Proper orientation. Let us see here. It will give how the molecule is formed. Means here if the possibilities are there, here A and A is separated from the reaction, and here B and B is formed. When they undergo some proper orientation. So let us take the same example here. A is there, and here what we have? B is there. Suppose here A and B undergo what here? Some improper orientations. What orientations? Improper orientation. Just I will change the position of B like this, and I will write here A. Okay, so this is what orientation? This is what? This is improper orientation. This is improper orientation. Then what happened here? Here A and AB possibilities there form a mixer intermediate, and here BA intermediate is formed. So here A is there here, A, and this is B, and this is B, and this is A. So like this compound is formed. Now it will be dissociate like this. How the molecule is formed here? The molecule can be formed by AB. So here A is there, here what? B is there. And if you see here what you will get here? Here B is there and here A is there. So what I can say here? If they undergo improper orientations, there is a combination of A and B is formed. If they undergo proper orientation, what is formed here? AB orientation will be takes place. So this called as proper orientation. This is called as what? Improper orientation. So here molecules are very close to each other. They undergo affective collisions. If they undergo affective collisions, what is the product is formed? They will form a chemical reaction will be takes place. The product is formed. So this is regarding about what? Proper orientation and what here? Improper orientations. Let us see one more example for taking NO2 and NO2 here. Two molecules of NO2 I am taking here. This is one molecule of NO2, this is one molecule of NO2. They undergo proper orientation, means what here? These two molecules are close to approach like this. Then what happened here? There is a chance to form an intermediate like this. So this undergo proper orientation. Then what is formed here? The compound is formed. N2O4 is the formed. Is intermediate, the intermediate again convert into what ma? N2O4. This is what collisions here. So these are what here? These are, I will say, some proper collisions. Proper orientations are proper collisions. Now come to this molecule. NO2, this is NO2 and this is NO2. Okay, so they undergo improbeans here. In this case, nitrogen and nitrogen combine with each other. But in this case, what happened? Nitrogen and oxygen combine with each other. So this is collisions will be takes place. So these are what here? This is an improper orientation. If the molecules undergo improper orientation, then what happened? Instead of mixing with collide with each other, they will far away from each other like this. Whenever they are far away from each other, then what happened here? NO2 molecule is separated and NO2 molecule is separated. Then what happened? There is no formation of the product. There is no formation of the product. So this is regarding about formation of N2O4 molecule undergo proper orientation. That N2O2, NO2 molecule collide with each other, but there is no chance for the formation of the product. Let us see one more example, well-known example for SN2 reaction, In this case of SN2 reaction also, we will see that example by taking alkyl halide with what nucleophile. I am taking this example SN2 reaction. What is the SN2 reaction, In SN2 reaction, what the example we will see here, this CH3Br will combine with what OH minus. It is converted into what here? CH3OH plus what Br minus. CH3OH plus what here? Br minus. So two chances are there. If the CH3COH is formed, if the molecule undergo what here? If the molecule undergo proper orientation, and if the molecule does not undergo proper orientation, this what is the reaction does not take place. So this is CH3Br is there. It reacts with what OH minus. OH minus we have. Okay. Suppose I am writing here this CBr minus plus OH minus. Here hydrogen and hydrogen and hydrogen. Clear? If the Br minus is going like this side and this is OH minus is going from this side, then what happened here? There is no reaction. There is no reaction because alkyl halide going from one side, nucleophile is going from one side. Then what happened here? There is no chance for the formation of the product. So suppose if the molecule undergo what here? If the molecule undergo proper orientation, this is what orientation? This is an improper orientation. Reaction does not take place. If the molecule undergo proper orientation, suppose you will see this one. I will write here. Suppose the molecule undergo proper orientation. So then what happened here? You will get here Br, this is CH, transition state is formed here. So this is C is there, here H and here H and here H here, and this is what here OH minus and this is what here Br minus. So this this is an intermediate, this is minus and minus is there, then it is converted into what here? You will get here OH, H plus what Br minus. So in this case what happened here? So Br minus and OH minus, Br minus coming this side, OH minus coming this side, then undergo what here? Proper orientation. What is formed here? Product is formed. So this is regarding about what proper orientation. What is the conditions are required for collision theory? Two conditions I told. One is threshold energy or energy barrier, and one more proper orientation or one more what I told orientation barrier. So these are the two conditions are required if the molecule should undergo what? Effective collisions. So the next one here, relation between the rate of reaction and the collision frequency. If you want to take a reaction here, A plus B gives rise to what here? Products. A plus B gives rise to what here? Products. A and B suppose undergo collisions. The number of collision taking place per second per unit volume is called as what? Collision frequency. That is denoted by what? ZAB. So I will write here collision frequency. This collision frequency denoted by what? Z. So collision frequency Z for which molecule? This is for what? AB molecule. AB molecule. Now I want to write here a rate expression here. Rate of reaction. Here rate of reaction is equal to, I will write here a collision frequency into that Z I will write here ZDAB into some factor F I wrote. This rate of reaction, what you are change in the concentration of the reactant, you will write minus d of R by dt is equal to some ZAB into F is a constant here. Here what constant means? It is coming from the Arrhenius constant only. So rate of reaction depends on what ma? Activation energy, you know. Rate of reaction depends on which one ma? Activation energy. Activation energy, you know this activation energy formula what here, K is equal to some A into e power minus EA by RT here. So here what is the value of F means F is equal to e power minus EA by RT. So from this I will write F is equal to e power minus EA by RT. Now I will write here rate of reaction. Rate of reaction is equal to ZAB into this is e power minus EA by RT. E power minus EA by RT. Now I want to change this reaction like this. So rate of reaction is equal to some P into ZAB into Z suffix you write here. This is ZAB into e power minus EA by RT. What is P here? P is equal to probability factor. What factor ma? Probability factor, or we will say this is a steric factor also. Probability factor what here? Steric factor. Now what the equation becomes here? Rate of reaction is equal to P into ZAB into e power minus CA by RT. What is P I told here? P is called as a probability factor or what? Steric factor is introduced. What is the P? Why this P is introduced means because, so here we want to identify the probability of the number of collisions. Okay, so we can use this formula. So rate of reaction is equal to P into ZAB into e power minus CA by RT. This is what here, this is the reaction relation between rate of reaction and what ma? Collision frequency Z. Rate of reaction is equal to P into ZAB into e power minus CA by RT. So this is regarding about collision theory. So the next year we forgot this concept. This is pseudo unimolecular reactions. So what is the pseudo unimolecular reactions means? Simple definition I will tell first here. The reactions which order is 1. Order is 1 means it is a first order reaction. And the molecularity is more than 1 is called as a pseudo unimolecular reactions. One more definition you can see, chemical reactions which are not first order, but behaves as a first order under suitable conditions are called pseudo unimolecular reactions. The chemical reactions which are not first order but they can behave like a first order under suitable conditions, those we are calling as a pseudo unimolecular reactions, or otherwise the chemical reaction which order is 1 but molecularity more than 1 is called as what ma? Unimolecular reactions. Okay, so for this I want to take an example here, very important here example I am taking here, ester hydrolysis. Ester hydrolysis. What is the ester formula here? CH3COO C2H5 plus H2O. If you want to the ester hydrolysis, then what you will get here? You will get CH3COOH plus C2H5OH. C2H5OH. For doing ester hydrolysis, we are taking what here? We have to take here excess of water. What do you take here? Excess of water, and the reaction can be carried out here. Some acidic medium is given. Okay, so now from this I want to say here rate is equal to K into concentration of CH3CO C2H5 whole power 1, and okay, rate is equal, this one means it is what order? It is a first order reaction. Now I want to write here molecularity. What is the molecularity for the reaction? 2 I will write. Why here? How many reactant molecules are present in the reaction? 2 reactant molecules. The number of reactant molecules involved in elementary reaction is called as what? Molecularity. Molecularity of the reaction is 2, but order is 1. This is example for what ma? Pseudo first order reaction or pseudo unimolecular reaction. So this is one of the example. What is that one? Ester hydrolysis. And one more example also you can take here, inversion of the cane sugar. Inversion of cane sugar. Cane sugar formula is what my here? C12H22O11. It is combined with water. Then what you will get here? C6H12O6 plus C6H12O6. So what is formed here? Glucose and fructose is formed here. So sum this you can write here. Order. Suppose I am writing here. Rate is equal to K into C12H22O11 whole power. What is the order here? It is a first order reaction. And what is the molecularity for the reaction? Molecularity is equal to 2, because here how many reactant molecules are there? 2 reactant molecules are there. So they will undergo hydrolysis. What they will form now? It will form glucose and what here? Fructose. We can carry out the reaction in presence of H plus. Here what you are taking? H2 you are taking excess. So excess suppose you are taking, it does not depends on the concentration of the water. It only depends on what? Concentration of the cane sugar only. So this is regarding about which one? Pseudo unimolecular reaction. So in the board exam and all, there is a chance to ask this question for the 2 marks. What is pseudo unimolecular reaction? Give an example. You can write any one of the example for this one. So this is regarding about chemical kinetics. So chemical kinetics completed. So the next class will start objective questions from the chemical kinetics.